Hi, it's Micah with Blue Sky Design, back for another video, 24 years after the last one, so I'm making progress. Thanks so much for being here. There's a big holiday coming up, and maybe you have a birthday coming up, maybe there's an event that you don't want to receive a blender. So today I'm here with an updated list of my favorite bullet journaling supplies. Which notebook I like, which pencils, which markers, which pens, everything that I use every day that kind of makes my bullet journal fun. So I wanted to show you an updated list because things have changed since the last time I showed you what I liked. Namely, the most important thing is the new notebook that I use. So thanks for being here. I hope this is helpful. I hope you don't get a blender, and I hope that you get to enjoy more bullet journaling because of what you learned today. Thanks for being here. All right, let's jump right into what I consider the most important part of bullet journaling for me, and that's the notebook. This is kind of tricky because this isn't my dream notebook. This was my very first bullet journal. I started it last September of 2016. It lasted me through May of 2017. It's great. I researched it and this ended up being a really popular option. Available on Amazon for about $23 to $24 depending on the color. But it has 80 GSM paper, so it's 80 grams per meter square thick, and dotted pages, and slightly ivory color. So what I found is that, you can even kind of see it here. It's called ghosting, where, just that ink from the previous page kind of comes through. And I'm very careful with the pens that I pick, just so I don't have that problem. But even still, because of the paper thickness, you still kind of get a little bit of stuff peeking through. So this was a great book, but when it was time to pick my second one this past May, let me show you what I grabbed. This is called The Scribbles That Matter. It's also an A5 with dotted pages, but this paper is 100 GSM thickness. This is 80, this is 100, and you wouldn't believe the difference. You can actually see, even though it has fewer pages, because the paper's thicker, it's actually just a tiny bit thicker as a book in general. 2 bookmarks as well, still has a pencil holder, but I don't have that ghosting problem anymore. The pages, just that little extra thickness, really help kind of hold that ink where it's supposed to be on the page that you want. So no offense, Lake Term, but we got kicked out because I love the Scribbles That Matter. And their new one, this is called the iconic version because it has their fun little doodles on the front. It has 182 pages, but their new one, I think they listened to my dreams because this is called, it has actually even more pages. It has about 20 more pages, 201 pages. So, and this is my brand new journal that I'm supposed to be in right now, but I've been so busy I haven't even started. And how you can tell if you have the older version versus the new, this is the one that has more pages, but you can always tell from the skull to the hedgehog. The skull is their original version, and they just keep improving things and making it even better. So I've picked green for my third bullet journal. And the paper's thick and wonderful, and it's even whiter than the Lectern, and it just feels like butter. Every pen that I've tried on it just works really well. Because it's a little bit thicker, I've even seen people have success with using watercolors, although that still might wrinkle the paper a little bit. So even though they know I'm a fan, they don't pay me to tell you this. This is just my favorite book that I've seen, and I've been able to test out a lot of notebooks. I'll probably stick with the Scribbles for quite a while, so those are my notebooks that I use. And I would say the second most important thing that you do when you're journaling is which pens you choose. Let me show you what I use all day, every day. These are the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pens. I actually use 3 different sizes. I use the XS, which is a .01, and then I use the S, which is .03, and then I usually use the F, which is a .5. Right now, for that size, or similar to it, I've been using, Faber-Castell sent me this one to try out. It's their Echo Pigment pen. Same ink. It just kind of has a different little bit of a body. But let me tell you what I didn't like about this one. Right where I hold my pen, it has this little ledge. And so it's kind of been uncomfortable to hold. And to me, it seemed like the ink didn't last quite as long as the Pitt Artist pens. So these actually come in a pack of 4 on Amazon. The Pitt Artist pens do. And this is how I bought it several times for the first times that I needed to replace these. But some of these sizes I actually don't use in my journal. A lot of people do because they have the thicker versions and they have this big fat calligraphy tip, which has been really popular. I just use these for all of my drawing and writing. So these would actually go to waste. So I started finding these in like those big store craft stores. And if you go in with a 40% off coupon, I end up getting these for about $2.86 a piece. So anytime I'm near one of those stores, I just pop in and grab one just so I have a spare all the time. But I love these. I kind of hit a home run. You know, I researched when I first started bullet journaling, and these are what I found were popular. And I've loved them for everything that I've done. So I'd probably keep using these guys. Again, Amazon has the 4-pack. They do sell them individually, but for the prices, it makes sense to buy the pack, unless you're shopping in the stores. So you can kind of start off early and practice some stuff with a pencil. So this is a Tombow Mono pencil. It's a mechanical pencil. You just click down on this little guy here. I waited for about 3 weeks for this to arrive from Japan, and it was worth the wait. It has great lead. It's very thin, which for the lines that I wanted to make was perfect. And then if I need to erase lines after I've inked over it, I use a Stapler eraser. The one that I presently use doesn't look nearly as nice. It's actually made by Faber-Castell. So I've had really good luck with both of them. But if you do want to draw lines out first, these are great options. Any pencil and eraser will work though. And you all know I have a color problem, so let me show you how I add color to my journal. I don't think it's a problem at all, actually. This is a kit that I found on Amazon as well. The pencils I actually use, I found in a back-to-school time at Costco, of all places. But they do sell them online, and I've even seen them in smaller kits for around $4 in stores like TJ Maxx or Ross. So you can keep an eye out and find stuff like this everywhere. But Stapler, I've had really good luck. Smooth color, they're just really consistent. So sometimes you get what you pay for. If you pay a little bit more for nicer pencils, these would be better than like your kids' Crayola pencils, for instance. But whatever works. So this is a fun way to add some color. Something else that I use a lot is the Stapler Tri-Tip Fine Liners. And they're beautiful. I found writing in my journal, I actually just like to write with black, but these do write really well. If you want to add your fonts in different colors as well, this is a great way to do it. The kit I originally bought and I'm still using is actually the 36-pack. Has some neon colors. I found I only use about 12 of those colors consistently. So even the smaller pack, they even have smaller packs than this, but I really like all of these colors. So let me show you like maybe a page that shows what I do with these guys. Oh, it'd have to be a page that's actually kind of filled in already though. I draw the lines for my daily habit tracker. These little tiny pretty colored lines are using the Stapler Fine Liner Tri-Plus. So really pretty color. And lots of people use them to actually write words as well. But I've just found I like writing all of my ink in black. So kind of another example, you see these pretty colors up in here. These are done with the Tombow dual brush pens. So the reason they're called dual brush is they actually have two sides to them. One side is kind of a soft marker, and it's wonderful for calligraphy and beautiful writing. Awesome, awesome colors. And the other side is a hard tip, and so you can kind of do a little bit finer detail with these. I love the Tombow. They have this version. This is the bright pack on Amazon, but I've also seen the pastel version. They have one for skin if you want to be really creepy. And they even have one just full of grays. So the dual brushes are really cool. But let me show you what I've learned kind of the hard way is that they don't color big areas very well. I wouldn't consider them like really good coloring markers, but they do great for these little tiny spots. Like I also use them to kind of draw the headers for my circles up here. So those are also the dual brush. And rather than, I love this. This is my first pack that I used for my first journal. I ended up going to a local craft store and I found the exact colors that I wanted to use in my journal for number 2. So they also sell them individually at these little cute little local art stores. And they can kind of be pricey. So the pack is definitely more affordable to buy, but I really wanted like the exact colors I knew I'd use all the time. So I love these, the Tombow dual brush. As far as like stencils, you can see like I do little circles and fun stuff up here for the tops of my dates. So I like nice, clean, straight lines, and this little stencil has really helped me do that. I use this circle line quite a bit. And I even have a larger version as well. So these are the two I usually use the most. I had a gigantic one. It's like little circles keep attacking in here. And this is how I used to draw my circle calendar until I realized a sticker would be a heck of a lot easier. So now I actually use my sticker every month instead of drawing it out. But they do have different versions of stencils that you can use if you like exact shapes and all that fun stuff. So this one I certainly use most of the time. And then another thing I use that I just love, it's called a Fiskars acrylic ruler. I actually found this in the sewing section of Walmart, and you can see it's not bendable at all. It's firm, which for me making the lines in my journal ended up being perfect. So this is the packaging for it, just kind of this fun little ruler. They have one a little bit bigger, and I was excited to try that because it could do one solid line in the whole side of my journal. But I found that this ink kind of bled off onto my journal pages on the bigger one. For some reason, I've never had that problem with this smaller one. So I love it. I use it all the time. Every straight line in my journal is drawn using this ruler. Highly recommend it. And then I do draw a lot of lines, and sometimes the lines don't work out. So these are Tombow mono correction tapes, and it's just a little white correction tape. And because of the white pages and the scribbles that matter, you can't even see when I've used this all over, and just kind of, it cleans up lines, accidents. It makes everything better. So I love this little correction tape, and they come in a huge, I think it's a pack of 12 on Amazon. So, and this is still the first one. I've been using the first one after a year. So they go a long way. So why don't you find a friend and you guys can divide and conquer that pack, and it's wonderful. Something that actually came with my colored pencils kit, because I bought it at Costco with back to sell, it came with a couple of sharpeners. So that's been really nice. I find that I use them, and it's better for me to use if they're super sharp. So I love this cute little, actually comes with 2 different sizes. You can do a regular pencil and colored. So I really like having my colored pencils nice and sharp and ready to go. And then kind of going along with the ruler, I actually use a paper towel, and I just kind of keep the edges nice and clean. That way no ink kind of gets spread where it's not supposed to go. So I recommend just kind of keeping a paper towel to the side. But that is what I use. These are the tools that I use every day for my bullet journaling. And you can try different things. There are a lot of supplies out there, and it's like people are catching on, and they're making even better things for us. But for now, you know, I kind of feel like my collection's pretty small, and that's a good thing, because I could easily get a little out of control with this. But you could easily grab these. These run for about $20 on Amazon. And then the pens, I mean, for $2.86 a piece, you could easily get underway with journaling for less than $25. So, and you know, with how much time you're going to spend in your bullet journal, it's kind of nice to have the option to invest in a little bit nicer of a notebook. You could even start with just a regular spiral bound, but I have found that with the time I spend in this, I want it to be able to last and have the quality really stand up. So I've really been enjoying these thicker pages from Scribbles That Matter. So that's it. If you have any questions, give me a shout. I'll try to answer any questions. If you have a suggestion or an idea that has worked really well for you, go ahead and post it below. I'll also include all the affiliate links on Amazon, so you can go see if any of these would work for you. But hope that helps. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye.